It's me, Dot, and this is room 348. On September 15th, 2010, a 55-year-old man named Greg Flanagan checked into the Elegante Hotel in Texas. He was there for his usual weekend rest. Greg, a quiet, hard-working real estate agent, had spent his younger years working at sea as a marine engineer. Often, he'd be the only person on board for months, so he got used to his own company. At the hotel, Greg wasn't athletic and had a slim frame, likely from years of hard work. He was also a heavy smoker, a detail that would soon become important. Every Monday, Greg traveled from Louisiana to Texas for work. His company always booked the same room. Greg didn't care about luxury. He just needed a cold, quiet room, a remote in his hand, a sweet snack, and his cigarettes. On the night of September 15th, Greg followed his routine. He changed into the blue pajamas, set the AC to max cold, lay back on his bed with a candy bar and an ashtray nearby, and turned on the TV. It was the last time he would ever do this. The next day, his wife Susie became worried when he stopped answering calls. She contacted his co-workers, who eventually went to the hotel and convinced the staff to open room 348. There they found Greg's body lying on the floor. He was holding a cigarette between his fingers. Nothing seemed out of place. No blood, no signs of a struggle. His wallet, money, all untouched. The case was strange, but it seemed like a straightforward death. So Detective Apple arrived. The room was oddly warm, which was strange for Greg. He hated warm rooms. Still, the death looked natural, maybe a heart attack. The body was sent to Dr. Tommy Brown, the best forensic pathologist in the area. From the outside, Greg had no injuries, just a small bruise under his eye from falling. But inside, a disaster. His ribs were broken. There was internal bleeding and a hole in his heart. These injuries were consistent with a high-impact trauma, like a car crash. But Greg was alone in a locked hotel room. Nothing heavy had fallen. There was no accident, and no one heard a thing. The case went cold for 7 months. Then Susie hired private investigator Ken Brennan, a former federal agent. Ken Ray investigated the room and asked Susie one important question. Was anything unusual about the room? She said, yes, it was hot. Greg would never leave the room warm. He always kept it freezing cold. That single clue led him back to room 348. He examined the walls carefully. Then, he noticed a small hole in the wall behind the TV, facing the next room. He rushed next door. Behind the wall in room 349 was a bullet lodged in the wall. Turns out, 2 electricians had been drinking there on the night Greg died. One of them was playing with a handgun and accidentally fired it. The bullet went through the wall, straight into Greg's chest. He didn't die instantly. He had time to pick up a cigarette, lie down in pain, and slowly pass away. No one heard the shot because of the loud air conditioning and thick hotel walls. It was an unfortunate accident. The electricians didn't know Greg was there. They just thought the sound of a gun going off while they were drinking would be funnier than it actually was. So the mystery of room 348 is solved. Greg was killed by an accidental gunshot through the wall. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe for more horror stories. And check out my podcast available on various platforms. platforms. Until next time, sleep tight and don't die.